Ram, O Shri Ram, Jai Ram, Jai Jai Ram, Om Shri Ram, Jai Ram, Jai Jai Ram, Om Shri Ram, Jai Ram, Jai Jai Ram, Shri Ram, Jai Ram, Jai Jai Ram, Om 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 Shri Ram, Jai Ram, Jai Jai Ram, Shri Ram, Jai Ram, Jai Jai Ram, Om 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 Shri Ram, Jai Ram, Jai Jai Ram, Shri Ram, Jai Ram, Jai Jai Ram, Om 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 Shri Ram, Jai Ram, राम जय जय राम ओम श्री राम जय जय राम ओम राम जय जय राम ओम श्री राम जय राम ओम श्री राम जय जय राम श्री राम जय जय राम श्री राम जय राम ओ श्री राम जय राम ओ श्री राम जय राम ओ श्री राम जय श्री राम जय राम ओ श्री राम जय राम ओ श्री राम जय राम ओ श्री राम जय राम श्री राम श्री राम जय राम ओम 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 श्री राम जय ओम श्री राम जय ओम श्री राम जय श्री राम जय राम ओम श्री राम जय राम ओम श्री राम जय राम ओम श्री राम जय श्री राम जय राम ओम श्री राम जय राम ओम श्री राम जय राम ओम श्री राम जय राम श्री राम जय राम ओम श्री राम जय राम ओम श्री राम
No, it is not necessary. It is connected.
Om Shri Ram, Jai Ram, Jai Jai Ram, Hari Om, Hari Om, Hari Om to everybody. Pranam, pranam, pranam. So yesterday, 4th chapter up to 8, 9 and 10 were left out. We shall reduce the volume. This is an effort to connect examples drawn from daily life with shlokas in Bhagavad Gita. From shelf to self, from reverence to relevance. So far, we have all of us have a great reverence for Bhagavad Gita. Many of us may not know full, but at least we would have heard something. We have found that it contains a sacred text. It is named as celestial song. But with all that, because it is not connected with our day-to-day life, we are revealing that song. But now an attempt is being made to either we allow the Gita in or we try to go within the Gita. How? By connecting with the daily experience. So this is called Gita touch in daily life. So we are in the 4th chapter now, 8 slokas. Later on we will go for a recap. Now we will go to the 9th one. Sloka number 33, endowment. Vishal from a rural village with only basic education secured a job in a city-based company. He was honest, hardworking, but unfamiliar with the professional skills needed in the new environment. Observing Vishal's innocence and sincerity, his boss Rupesh took upon himself to train him from the ground. With patience and genuine care, the boss taught Vishal the basics of English correspondence, how to speak confidently in English, and the essentials of stock control and office system. Rupesh did not assign tasks, he imparted the knowledge and skills that would empower the boy for a lifetime. Years passed. Vishal, now a skilled and confident young man, decided to move on to new opportunities. When he went to bid farewell, Rupesh invited him to his house for a meal. As Vishal prepared to leave, Rupesh embraced him warmly and said, "Wherever you go, you will shine because you are my product. The knowledge you have gained will always be with you." Vishal realized that the greatest gift his boss Rupesh had given him was not money or material benefits, but knowledge and expertise. These skills opened doors for him throughout his life, enabling him to succeed in many fields. The wisdom and training he received were treasures that never faded, unlike any material gift. This theme is echoed in slogan number 33 of chapter number 4. श्रेयान्द्रिव्यमत्याध्यात्म्याज्ञानयज्ञपरन्तप सर्वं कर्माखिलं पार्था ज्ञाने परिसमाप्यते श्रेयान्द्रव्यमयध्यात्म्यात् ज्ञानयज्ञपरन्तप सर्वं कर्माखिलं पार्था ज्ञाने परिसमाप्यते. O subduer of enemies, sacrifice performed in knowledge is superior to any mechanical material sacrifice. After all, O Partha, all sacrifices of work culminate in knowledge. This incident beautifully reflects the sloka's essence. The highest form of giving in sharing knowledge and wisdom. Material gifts may provide temporary benefit, but the gift of knowledge empowers a person for life. Rupe's selfless mentoring transformed the Vishal's life, proving that knowledge is the most enduring and precious gift of all. That means we should go through the sloka, try to absorb meaning, not literal meaning, and then relate it to an incident from the daily life and see for ourselves. Knowledge is superior than anything else, because it travels with us wherever we go. Any other material, it might lose its charm, it might lose its efficiency, but knowledge never, never. Once given means given. We move to the 10th, probing. True inquiry begins when curiosity meets sincerity. It is not about questioning for the sake of argument, but for inner growth. When guided by purpose, even a simple doubt can open the door to profound wisdom and transformation. Subbu, a bright college student, respected his parents but found daily rituals and scriptures irrelevant to modern life. One evening he asked them honestly, what practical value do these practices add? His sincere question left them speechless. They had never truly reflected on the why behind their traditions. Motivated to find answers, the parents began exploring spiritual teachings with fresh curiosity. They soon discovered that rituals and scriptures were not outdated customs, but tools for mental clarity, emotional balance, and compassionate living. When they shared this insight with Subbu, he did not immediately adopt the practices, but began to notice the quiet transformation in his parents. His journey of inquiry had begun, not from compulsion, but from awakened awareness. This theme is brought out in 34 of chapter number 4. Tadvidya pranivadena pariprashnena sevaya upadekshyanti te jnanam jnanina tattvadarshina. Understand this knowledge by approaching the wise with humility, inquiry, service. The seers of truth will teach you true wisdom. This incident beautifully embodies the spirit of Pariprashna. The sacred act of inquiry encouraged in the Gita. The son's earnest question became the spark that turned habitual practice into conscious understanding. True learning, as the Gita teaches, unfolds not through blind following, but through humble questioning, open-hearted seeking, transformation born of inner experience. A very, very, very important point for all of us, especially this present generation, who are in the digital era now. We'll have questions. We don't have to or discourage their tendency. We should learn. That means God is making them to ask these questions so that we will try to go deeply. Through examples, through examples, through examples. So now, for example, suppose a devotee of Anandashram, he has got implicit faith in the holy and all powerful Rama. For anything independent, he will resort to. The growing generation may not be able to understand. Suppose they ask, how does this Rama help me in my exam? We must be able to tell them now. How does it help me to handle men and matters? Just because we did not question and we have implicit faith in the words of our master. But now God wills that everybody is given his mental mindset to question. And when it comes to us, we have to understand that aspect also. Though not fully, something of it. Everything should be rational, logical nowadays. Then only they will be able to understand. Not that they mean anything bad. That is how they have been taught. So that is how this fourth chapter ends. Now a quick recap. First was the redemption. Remember, de-addiction center adopts strict measures. Paritranaya sadhunam. Here to destroy the lower tendencies in a person and to gain back his own original nature. De-addiction center. Doctor
John
Mangala. Then surrender, letting go presumptuous Vidaraga Bayakroha. Anybody remembers? Surrender.
What disease?
The disease, பையனுக்கு உடம்பு சுகமில்லாட்டி இருக்கான்.
Incurable disease.
கவிதா பையனுக்கு சுகமில்லாட்டி இருக்கான்.
Kavita surrendering.
Surrender, grace and fault. Grace, fault.
பையனுக்கு சுகமில்லாத போது அதை
She
பார்த்து
surrenders.
டிஸ்டர்ப் ஆவார். அப்புறமா அது சரண்டர் ஆகிட்டு அந்த பையனை ஸ்நேகம் காட்டி
What will happen to my child, Then, so when she surrendered, she was able to gain back. Okay. Vidaraga Bayakroha. Then grace, faith that heals. Yoyathamam pravadyanti. Papadanam, the teacher. Poise. Namam karmani lipyanti. Calm amidst chaos. CEO. After. Then. Sit down. Poise. Then, next one is act fully, remain detached. Karmano heavy, bodhabhyam. Then, chapati. She was about to put poison. Then somehow she was prompted not to do that. And finally it happened to know that the son had to eat that, okay. Then appreciation of others' efforts. Okay.
Laundry woman's son.
Person who went for the interview.
They changed.
The mother was there working in the laundry. So the boss asked, the director asked her to wash his mother's hand, Then after detachment, Edrichar Rapasandushto.
Teamwork. The laundry.
അത് admiration അല്ലോ. Dispassion.
മഞ്ജരി
Alright, ദശരഥ
വഴി ഉണ്ടാക്കുന്നത്
ദശരഥ മഞ്ജരി.
ദശരഥ മഞ്ജരി വഴിയെ
ദശരഥ മഞ്ജി. ദശരഥ മഞ്ജി. ഓക്കെ. പിന്നെ facilitation, the gift of knowledge. Value based can value can. Curiosity with purpose. Gift of knowledge, sorry. Gift of knowledge.
Oh, that is our thing.
Vishal.
Vishal and Latna.
No, Vishal is curiosity with purpose. No?
Lokesh and Vishal.
His passion is Dasharatha Manji. Girish applied for a managerial role. Okay, that also. That is okay. Facilitation means value-based camp. Okay. Then endowment, Vishal. But the name
Endowment it can't be.
is not endowment.
No. It should be mentoring or something then.
Legacy, grand, bequest, donation. It's a great endowment, no doubt, but you change it, okay. But nobody has changed it so far. Endowment, okay.
Okay, sir.
Eh?
Endowment.
Endowment, okay.
Contribution.
Then probing, that is Subbu, about the rituals.
Finish.
That is the 10th one, no? I think the chart is not okay. That is okay.
Okay.
Okay. So this sloka also we should try. परित्राणाय साधूनां विनाशाय च दुष्कृतां धर्मसंस्थापनार्थाय संभवामि युगे युगे. That is for the de-addiction center. Then Vidaraga Bhayakrodha Manmaya Mamupaashrita Bhagavo Jnanatapasa Udamat Bhavamagata. That is the letting go the stress. Bhayam Krodham. About that Kavita, no? No. Then ये यथा मां प्रपद्यन्ते तां तथैव भजाम्यहं मम वर्तमान अनुवर्तन्त मनुष्याः पार्थ सर्वशः. Faith,
Grace.
grace, papas. न मां कर्माणि लिम्बन्ति न मे कर्मफले स्पृहा इति मां यो अभिजानाति कर्मभिर्न स बध्यते. Namam Karmani. That is calm amidst chaos. CEO. Then कर्मणो ह्यपि बोधव्यं च विकर्मणः अकर्मणश्च बोधव्यं गहना कर्मणो गतिः. That lady in chapati. Then त्यक्त्वा कर्मफलं संगम त्यक्त्वा कर्मफला संगम नित्यतृप्तो निराश्रय कर्मण्यपि प्रवृत्तोऽपि नैव किञ्चित् करोति. त्यक्त्वा appreciation of others' efforts. Mothers, hello. Dasharatha. Actually remain detached. But I think why not we write here as a good name so that it will be easy. Huh? Faith that heals, Papa. Within bracket. So first
Grace, grace.
हाँ वो ग्रेस है ग्रेस
After grace, meditation.
de-addiction center, I think nothing is needed. Letting go is Kavita.
कविता surrenders
Then faith, that's a calm about CEO, okay?
CEO remains calm amidst chaos.
Act fully remain detached, Dasharatha Vandya. Eh?
That's not the one.
Elva. Then appreciation of others' efforts.
That is the laundry woman's son.
Huh?
Laundry woman's son. He washes her hands. I think it's a laundry woman's son washing her hands.
Laundry mass.
Admiration, yeah. Oh, Auntie Singh, that is admiration. Admiration को appreciation बना रहा है.
Appreciation, yes. Appreciation.
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 Dhanya chapati.
Kanya chapati samachita.
Admiration is that. What is the next? Why there was confusion? Grace kapram, then poise. Poise, after that resonance, you know.
Resonance.
What is resonance?
I think we
Skipped it.
somewhere something is wrong. Resonance is
Oh, right.
That's
Oh, Dhania giving chapati
Because
to
of
the
us.
then dispassion. There is no dispassion here.
After that, resonance next to only dispassion.
Next is dispassion. After resonance, dispassion.
Dasharatha is dispassion. Then resonance is dhanya. Chapati.
chapati.
Dhanya, chapati.
Yes.
It's not Dasharatha, it's the chapati.
That's the Mama. Danya.
Chapati.
Dhania, that chapati.
Chapati. This is Dasharatha.
Dispassion.
And the art of detachment, admiration is that boy. Laundry.
Woman's son.
Laundry mother, okay. Something. Give knowledge to that boy. What is his name? Vishal.
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 Vishal and Rupesh.
This is our own story.
Yes, Auntie.
Curiosity, endowment. What?
Curiosity, the boy. Supu.
Facilitation வந்து மூல்ய பிரகாஷ வேதி சுவாமிஜி.
Facilitation.
என்டோமென்ட் வந்து சாதாரண சிட்டில போயிட்டு நாலேஜ் கிடைக்குது.
What is his name?
விஷால்.
That is endowment. That is Swamiji's story.
I cannot hear it.
Sorry, endowment is Swamiji's story. Vishal. Then
ராபின் நேச்சர் வந்து அந்த
the last one is Subbu.
Facilitating.
Subbu is inquiring nature.
Rituals.
Yeah, Subbu is inquiring into the rituals. Last one.
Facilitation.
That's the 10th one. Facilitation we said Mulya Prakashan Vedi.
Endowment.
Endowment is
Pravin.
Vishal. And this is Subbu.
Robbing, sun seeking, that is okay. Then this is Vishal. Endowment.
Admiration, endowment is Vishal.
And then
And Rupesh. Vishal is mentor Rupesh.
facilitation is value-based kind.
Facilitation is valid. That is the Mulya Prakashan Vedi.
Okay. Now again we'll go through
Oh, that is already relevant.
de-addiction center. It's called redemption. Paritranaya sadhuna. Letting go, release stress. Kavita. Vidaraga Vayakrota. Faith that he is Yayathamam Pravadyate. Calm amidst chaos. CEO. Namam Karmani Likyande. Actively remain detached. Karmano Kshami Gautavyam. Dispassion. Appreciation of others' effort. Dasharatha Tyaktva Karma Parasangam. Art of detachment. Laundry mother. Yadrichya Lapasantrushto, facilitation, the gift of knowledge, value can, Brahmarpanam Brahmavir, very important. Then endowment, curiosity with purpose, Vishal. Then problem, sun seeking relevance of rituals in daily life. Hari Om, Hari Om, Hari Om. Ego. Tadvidhi Pranibhadena. So this is how we move. We go to chapter number
5.
Gita touch in daily life. Chapter V, Sannyasa Yoga. In chapter 5, the Lord harmonizes two seemingly opposite paths, sannyasa and karma yoga.
Now roll it downwards. Roll it downwards. Lift upwards. Upwards around. Bas. Now, one second. I want to see whose mic is on. Okay, which person has kept the mic on? It's not coming. Samji, can you go there, please, to see whose mic is on?
Yeah.
You're in our Google Meet. Gauri Shankar Mama, please put off your mic. Please put it off.
In chapter number 5, the Lord harmonizes two opposite paths. Sannyas, that is renunciation of action, and Karma Yoga, selfless action. Arjuna, still unclear about which path leads to liberation, he is gently guided to see that true renunciation lies not in abandoning action, but in renouncing the ego and attachment toward the fruits of action. This chapter throws light on inner detachment that transforms ordinary duties into liberating acts. Whether one chooses the path of renunciation or engagement, it is purity of intention and absence of self-centered desire that sanctify the journey. Ultimately, the Lord reveals that the one who sees action in inaction and inaction in action, who remains inwardly free while outwardly active, is truly liberated. Who remains inwardly free while outwardly active. This chapter invites us to refine our actions in the crucible of self-awareness, offering each actor worship and living in the world without being bound by it. True renunciation is inward, not in giving up, but in giving up attachment to its result. Be a doer without being a claimant. Both renunciates and karma yogis reach the same goal. What matters is purity of mind. Choose the path that suits your nature, but walk with selflessness. Equanimity is freedom. A person who sees friends and foes alike is truly free. Treat all with equal vision, the hallmark of wisdom. Peace comes from surrender. Those free from desire and ego dwell in lasting peace. Let go and let peace find you. Let peace find you. Self is the true image. A realized one acts but remains untouched. Be in the world and not of it. The sense of I do binds. Seeing action as nature's play frees one. Drop the doership, witness the dance. Freedom is not escape, but inner stillness. The truly amidst all. Stillness is not inaction. It is pure awareness in action. Awareness in motion. Each word you have to ponder, not just hear. That is why they said insights, not for merely reading at all. Sloka chart will come later. So, first sloka number 3, selflessness. On Children's Day, excitement filled the air as Preeti, a bright class 3 student, stood in line to receive chocolates at school. Like every child, she eagerly accepted her chocolate and dashed away. Yet months later, she returned to the queue. The teacher, a bit surprised, handed her another chocolate. Preeti smiled and ran off again. To the teacher's growing annoyance, Preeti came back a third time. This time the teacher gently scolded her, reminding her that others deserved chocolates too. But Preeti, undeterred, simply smiled, left once more. When Preeti returned for the fourth time, the teacher finally warned her, if you keep coming back, there won't be enough for everyone else. Preeti just smiled, took the chocolate and left. Curious and concerned, the teacher decided to follow her. Outside the school gate, the teacher witnessed a touching scene. 5 physically challenged children waiting in wheelchairs were each receiving the chocolate from Preeti. She had been returning to the line again and again, not for herself, but to share the joy of Children's Day with those who could not stand in line. Realizing her mistake, the teacher rushed to Preeti, apologized, said, wait, I will get you a whole packet. Preeti's quiet act of kindness had shown that true love is giving without expecting anything in return, even when misunderstood or scolded. Connection to Bhagavad Gita, chapter number 5, sloka number 3. Nyayasa nitya sannyasi, yona deshti na kankshati, nirdvando mahabaho, sukham bandhat pramuchyate. The karma yogis who neither desire nor hate anything should be considered always renounced. Free from all duality, they are easily liberated from the bonds of material energy. Preeti's actions are a living example of this teaching. She did not act out of desire for more chocolates, nor did she feel upset by the teacher's scolding. Free from selfishness and dualities, desire and aversion, she simply acted out of pure compassion, giving joy to others without any expectation or complaint. True greatness lies in selfless action, in giving without expectation, remaining undisturbed by praise or blame. Shraddha must have distributed 1 lakh copies of this to schools in Bangalore. Because this was something which touched everybody's heart. When we were setting up VSET in Bangalore, every time we go to the press, get it printed, and then immediately she will get into an auto, go to the school, give you. You remember?
Yes, Swamiji.
I think, what is that printer name?
I don't remember.
Oh, terrible. Chandush kept on telling. Okay, carry on. Finally, when we saw the figure was nearly 1 lakh. Preeti had dominated, you know.
Yes, Swamiji.
Very touching. We move to slogan number 6. Abhay, a teenager, began volunteering at an old age home, initially just to fulfill a school requirement. At first he saw it as a chore, something to be ticked off the list. But as days passed, Abhay found himself drawn to the residents' stories, their laughter, their humor. The simple act of serving meals or listening to tales became moments of unexpected joy. What started as an obligation slowly transformed into a source of quiet fulfillment. Without even realizing it, Abhaya's ego and reluctance were gently polished away, replaced by a sense of connection and humility. This is the essence of true Karma Yoga. Actions performed with steadfast resolve, humility and devotion not only transform the world around us, but also polish the mind, unveil the brilliance of the soul. The very hurdles and duties we face become our greatest teachers, guiding us towards inner clarity and joy. This beautifully reflects in the wisdom of slogan number 6 of chapter number 5. Sannyāsastu Mahabhavo Dukkhamāptum Ayogataka Yogayukto Munirbrahma Nachirenādi Gacchati. Every slogan now we are trying to understand not through its literal meaning, textual meaning, but through an example. We are trying to realize that Gita touches every segment. Not to keep it in the 6,000 years ago library. We are in 2025, relevant to the modern time. Perfect renunciation is difficult to attain without performing work. The sage who is adept in dedicated action quickly attains the supreme. Every action, when approached with the right spirit, becomes a gentle polish, removing what is not real, revealing what truly is. Sincere actions and selfless service clear away the ignorance and ego that cloud the heart, unveiling the innate purity within.
Swamiji, Vinobaji is transformation alone.
Because he originally started with the gold, then later on one boy, we remember, he was attending our session for Muli Prakashan Vedi. So then afterwards they used to send postcard. And in one postcard, the boy writes, at that time, they were not finding interesting. But when he went home, the mother asked him to buy something from the bazaar. So he went there. And the boy came late. You know why he was late? After purchasing, he saw a blind man. And the blind man asked him, "Can you please lead me to my house, which is very near?" The boy immediately did. And when he was left in his house and came back, it was late. So mother asked, why were you late? So he said, I had to go there. Then she said, if you don't know anybody, how can you go there? Something else may be there. You should not do like that. So he has written, all these things he has written the postcard. Mother may be right from her own standpoint, but I will continue to do having attended the session. The session had such a deep impact that he himself writes, but at the same time he did not condemn mother. Mother may be right from her own level, but I will continue to do this. This is what I learned from the Mulya Prakasha Vedi session. Transformation. Once while travelling by train, Virat Papa found himself seated in front of two young men. Mistaking his silence and attire for pretense, they mocked him in English, presuming that he did not understand the language, calling him a veritable impostor or a hoax. Papa folded his hands and responded with humility and grace, "Oh, kind friend, Ramdas is in full agreement with the view that you have expressed about him. It is perfectly true that he is a fraud, but one thing more you discover in him, that is, he is man of Ram, and every moment he cries out to him to make him pure and only live for Ram's sake. Struck by Papa's egoless response and divine fervor, the young men were transformed. They fell at his feet, begged forgiveness for their harsh words, soon began serving him with care and reverence. This powerful moment reflects the spirit of Bhagavad Gita in chapter number 5, sloka number 7. Yoga yukto vishuddhatma vijitatma yudendriya sarva bhudatma bhudatma kuruvannapi na libyate. One who is united with the divine, whose heart is purified, whose mind and senses are controlled, and who sees the self in all beings, though acting, is never bound. Viral Papa's response arose from the heart purified through devotion and anchored in God awareness, just as the Gita describes one who is united in yoga, self-control, pure. For such a soul, even insult becomes an offering to the divine, and the ego dissolves in the light of oneness with all beings. The last one, the managing trustee of a charitable trust had long supported a medical mission, serving the poorest communities faced. Recently, he made a generous donation towards a mobile clinic, a project that soon attracted other contributions as well. To express their gratitude, the mission organized a public felicitation for the donors. While others welcomed the recognition, the managing trustee, known for quietly serving without seeking visibility, politely declined the invitation. However, at the instance of many, he eventually agreed to attend, but only as a regular guest, seated humbly among the attendees. The function concluded gracefully with dignity and mutual respect. His assistant, observing his quiet detachment, felt reminded of Bhagavad Gita. Chapter number 5, sloka number 10. Brahmanyadhaya karmani sangam tyaktva karodiyah lipyatena sapapena patmapatra vimanas. He who dedicates his action to the divine and performs them without attachment remains untouched like a lotus leaf in water. You were physically present in that function. The managing trustee's self-effacing conduct was not just humility in action. It was the Gita's wisdom embodied, giving without claiming, acting without ownership. Number 5, slogan number 11. In 2010, while driving through Hyderabad, Gangadhar Tilak Katnam's car hit a pothole, splashing muddy water onto a young girl standing by the roadside. Instead of blaming the authorities or complaining, Katnam felt a deep sense of personal responsibility. He quietly resolved to act. Using his own pension saving, Katnam began filling potholes across the city. Day after day, for 15 years, he repaired over 1,125 potholes, never seeking publicity, reward, or recognition. He simply saw a need and responded, motivated by compassion and a sense of duty. There was no fanfare, only the quiet satisfaction of making the roads safer for everyone. Gangadhar Tilak Katnam's life is a living example of message of slogan number 11, chapter number 5 of the Bhagavad Gita. Kayena manasa buddhya kevalairidriyairapi yogina karma kuruvandi sangam tyaktva atma shakti. The yogi is abandoning attachment, act with body, mind, intellect, and even with the senses only for the purification of the self. Katnam acted with his body, mind, and intellect, but without attachment to the results or desire for praise. His work was not for personal gain, but for the betterment of society and his own inner purification. Every pothole he filled was an act of karma yoga. Action performed with a pure heart, free from attachment. As the Bhagavad Gita teaches, such actions done with body, mind and intellect, yet free from attachment, ayena manasa buddhya, are the true path to inner peace and fulfillment. Gangadhar Tirakatnam's quiet service reminds us that greatness lies in simple, selfless acts performed for the welfare of all. Slogan number 12. While staying at a rest house in Kasargod, Virat Papa had been given a few simple belongings by friends. An earthen lota, a deerskin mat, an umbrella, a lantern, some books. One night a stranger arrived, asked for everything in the room. Without a moment's hesitation, Papa handed it all over. By morning he sat on the floor with nothing but a single cowpea. When people visited and saw him in the state, they exclaimed, "Who robbed you?" Virat Papa smiled and replied, "God came in another form, and Ramdas gave him what was his. What was his?" Soon after, as if by divine arrangement, each item had been taken and replaced, and Papa's needs were met once again, without him asking. Papa saw no theft, no loss, only the play of the divine. For him, everything belonged to God, and he lived with the joyful detachment of one who had surrendered all. This luminous episode reflects the spirit of Bhagavad Gita brought out in chapter number 5 through shloka number 12. Yukta karma yaktva shantimapnodi naishtikim ayukta kamakarena phale sakto nipadyate. He who is satisfied with whatever comes by chance, who transcends duality, is free from envy and remains steady in success and failure, is never bound to acting. Virat Papa's serene surrender, free from attachment to outcomes, is a living embodiment of the Yukta, the one who renounces the fruit of action and attains abiding peace. In giving all, he gained all, untouched by gain or loss, bound only by love for the divine. As we have been repeating, this is not for merely hearing. It will not help. Unless we try to reflect, ponder over deeply, then only it gets, the Gita effect, the Gita touch will be felt by us. Because we are now trying to understand that Gita relates to our very life, present life, family life, professional life, social life. We are trying to understand Gita through examples which we have seen, heard or read, or experienced. And this process will help us to bring it in the life to be lived. This is very important. What we have so far lived, when we try to connect it with Bhagavad Gita, it will help us in the life to be lived. The Gita touch slowly gets impressed in our mind. And we try to bring the Gita touch behind thoughts, words and deeds. Because we remember Gita through the incident. Because none of us know Sanskrit. So to us it's a sacred book. Now we are trying to take it from the shelf and make it our own. From the reverence to relevance. So we are reading it now, but this has to be pondered over deeply. We can take it as the first round. Then we move to the 7th shloka number 18. While walking towards Prachi, Swami Ramadas noticed a poorly clad man step aside and cross the other side of the road. Upon seeing him, a few steps ahead, the same man greeted someone with a heartfelt Ram Ram. Swami Ramdas turned to him and asked, "Brother, why did you walk away?" The man hesitated and said, "I am a pariah." Swami Ramdas immediately walked up to him, gently took his hand and replied, "But you are Ramdas's brother all the time." The man bewildered, "I am a Ded by caste. Swami Ramdas cried, "One who keeps the name of Ram on his lips is more blessed than even a brother. In the eyes of God, all are equal." Swami Ramdas continued to walk with him, speaking of the glory of God until they parted, embodying the oneness beyond caste or birth. The very truth echoed in Gita, where the wise see all things with equal vision, echoed in chapter number 5, sloka number 18.
Gauri Shankar Mama is again disturbing me. कन्नमा आंटी आपका माइक बंद करना प्लीज. कन्नमा आंटी, that is कन्नमा आंटी. आंटी हम म्यूट करता है ना आंटी.
So please, 18, no? विद्या विनय संपन्ने ब्राह्मणे गविहस्तिनि शुरिजैव शुभागे च पंडिता समदर्शिनः. The wise see with equal vision a learned and a humble Brahmin, a cow, an elephant, a dog, even a dog eater. Swami Ramdas' life was a living expression of the Gita's teaching on equal vision. He did not just believe that all beings are manifestations of the divine, he acted on it. To him, every soul reflected the same Ram, and love flowed beyond the boundaries of caste or status, echoing the spirit of Gita. We move to sloka number 20. In a small clinic, a little boy cried out in agony, unable to pass urine. His anxious father stood by, helpless, distressed. Dr. Sen, the attending physician, stepped in with quiet assurance, with practiced hands and a calm demeanor. He quickly diagnosed the issue, relieved the obstruction. As the urine gushed out, splashing onto Dr. Sen's coat, the boy's pain vanished, replaced by calm relief. Actually, not only coat, on his face. The father, embarrassed and apologetic, began to stammer out an apology, but Dr. Sen simply smiled, wiping his coat. "This is the best thing that has happened today. Your child is free from pain. That is all that matters." In that moment, that happened here. In that moment, his happiness was not tied to comfort, success, or recognition. It flowed from compassion, from acting without ego, without attachment to outcome. Dr. Sen did not cling to the I who served, nor to the mind that was sustained. His joy came from the act of service itself, untainted by pride or aversion. This echoes slogan number 20 of chapter number 5. न प्रकृष्येत् प्रियं प्राप्य नोद्विजेत् प्राप्य चाप्यं स्थिरबुद्धिरसम्मूढो ब्रह्मविद् ब्रह्मणि स्थितः. One who is not elated by present experience, nor disturbed by unpleasant one, who is steady and unconfused, and who knows Brahman, such a one is established in the divine. Dr. Sen's equanimity, untouched by external mess or internal pride, reflects the heart of his words. His steady joy was rooted not in what happened to him, but in what flowed through him. Slogan number 25, Sacrifice. In 1955, Dr. Jonas Salk made history by announcing the success of the world's first effective polio vaccine. This breakthrough would go on to save millions of lives and end the terror of a disease that had paralyzed and killed countless children worldwide. In a television interview, Why he did not patent the vaccine? Saul famously replied, "Can you patent the sun?" For him, the vaccine was not a commodity to be owned or profited from, but a gift to humanity, something as essential and universal as sunlight, meant to be shared freely with all. Saul's decision was not symbolic, just symbolic. It was transformative. By refusing to patent all the vaccine, he ensured it could be distributed widely and affordably, removing barriers and delays. He worked with pharmaceutical companies to maximize its reach, never seeking personal gain or recognition. His selfless approach reflected a profound sense of duty, compassion, and detachment from the fruits of his labor, as pointed out in slogan number 25 of chapter number 5 of the Bhagavad Gita. Labande Brahmanirvanam Rishayat Shrinakarmasho Chinnadveda Yatatmana Sarva Bhuta Hidera. Those holy persons whose sins have been purged, whose doubts are annihilated, whose minds are disciplined, who are devoted to the welfare of all beings, attain God and are liberated from material existence. Dr. Sahal acted for the welfare of all beings, free from attachment and selfish motive. His mind was disciplined, his intentions pure, his actions devoted to the great good of humanity. By placing the needs of the world above personal gain, Salt achieved a kind of liberation, leaving behind not only a scientific breakthrough, but a luminous ethical example. The highest ideal of selfless action is to work for the welfare of all, unattached to personal reward. As the Bhagavad Gita teaches, such individuals are liberated and leave a legacy that illuminates the world, much like the sun itself. Dr. Sal's gift to humanity reminds us that true greatness lies in compassion, humility, unwavering commitment to serve. We come to the last one, compassion. In 1987, after a massive earthquake struck Ecuador, a newspaper photographer was sent to capture the aftermath. Amidst the rubble and despair, he witnessed a moment of pure compassion that forever altered his view of humanity. Aid groups had arrived to distribute food. The line of survivors stretched down the street. At the very end stood a young girl named Esperanza, around 12. She waited quietly, not watching the wood, but keeping her gaze on 3 smaller children across the road who looked to her with silent hope. As the line moved, anxiety rose, supplies were running low. By the time Esperanza reached the front, only one banana remained. She accepted with a gentle smile, showing no disappointment. Then came the unforgettable moment. She ran to the children, peeled the banana, divided it into 3 equal parts, giving each a share. Then she sat down and softly licked the inside of the pea, her only portion. There was no complaint, no hunger in her eyes, only calm joy. The photographer moved to his core. Later wrote, "At that moment, I swear I saw the face of God." Esperanza's act was not mere generosity, it was detachment in action. She had no trace of desire or anger, and her peace sprang from within. In her quiet renunciation, she reflected Bhagavad Gita, chapter number 5, slogan number 26. Kama krodha viyukudanam yatinam yata jedasam abhido brahma nirvana vartande vididatmana. For those sannyasis who have broken out of anger and lust through constant effort, who have subdued their mind and are self-realized, liberation from material existence is both here and hereafter. In that heart of a hungry child, amid devastation, the world glimpses Brahma Nirvana, the supreme peace that flows from a selfless, God-tuned heart. On Monday we will go through the chart. Now, one salient point that built up now. We have been now going through 50th, no? 20 plus 10 plus 30. We have covered about 60 examples now. Everywhere we found somebody moving from me to we, 90%. Expansion from the me to we. And Gita supports the whole 60 examples. So ultimately Gita stands for what? Me to we. Expansion from me to we. Goodness is godliness. Previously we were thinking, when the moment we say God, Nirguna, Niragara, Nirvigara, Shashvata, Ananda Swarup. But now we see that he is also in the Saguna form. The Nirguna aspect has come in the Saguna form. Wherever it is explicit, they are doing all these things. In all of us it is there, it may not be explicit. Whenever it becomes explicit, we are expressing God. Please think about it. So it is not that we are going through the example and the same. What is the take-home message for us? Wherever there is good and great, it is the expression of God. And varieties, varied experiences in varied fields, in varied segments. Family, profession, student, personal, social. So in all different segments, we find these examples expressing the goodness, the nobility, the expansion from me to we. So this is we can say, this is the quintessence of Bhagavad Gita.
Deva Manisha Rupena. Deva Manisha Rupena.
Deva Manisha Rupena. And constantly when we try to think about it, our mind gets purified. This is the refining process. Though we may not be able to live up to what they have lived, there is an urge in us to live up to. Though we may fail or forget, there is still an urge in us to live up to, because we have heard. That is why we said we have to reflect upon it deeply, 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 so that it goes inside and helps us to transform ourselves. Daily, daily it's a reminder. There may be many occasions when we may differ with others, but we will never belittle others. We will never think that ours is superior. Each one, Puja Swamiji always used to say this, each one is acting from their standpoint. All are basically good, essentially good. Their viewpoint we may not agree, that's all. So while we express, this will be there in our mind. Whether it is in the form of Preeti, whether it is in the form of so many characters, we find. So by reflecting upon Preeti, one suppose we take, reflecting upon the Katnam, who filled the potholes. Anything, one or two if you remember. We start thinking. And pray to Him. By ourselves we are unable to do it. Pray to Him who is within us. You facilitated us to know about your creations. Wonderful performance. But when it comes to me, why are you keeping quiet? Why don't you influence me to bring it out in the same line? So this is another dimension this Gita touch in daily life gives us. Please ponder over. We have covered 60 technically. Technically only. But suppose we quietly go back and ask how many we remember, it may be very few. But we will not get disheartened. We will try to go through it again. Hari Om, more of it on Monday. Om Shri Ram, Jai Ram, Jai Jai Ram. 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 Shri Ram, Jai Ram, Jai Jai Ram. Om Shri Ram, Jai Ram, Jai Jai Ram. Om Shri Ram, Jai Ram, Jai Jai Ram. Om Shri Ram, Jai Ram, Jai Jai Ram. Shri Ram, Jai Ram, Jai Jai Ram. Om Shri Ram, Jai Ram, Shri Ram, Jai Ram, Jai Jai Ram. Om Shri Ram, Jai Ram, Jai Jai Ram. Pranam, pranam, pranam. Pranam to everybody. Pranam. Namaskar, namaskar, namaskar. Hari Om.